Hi guys, Stephen Palmer here, Michael Campbell Golf Academy. Just finished a video on choosing the bounce angle on your wedges. This one is more about the loft. What lofts do I need in my wedges? Now when you go into a shop, you'll probably see hundreds of wedges with different lofts on them, different loft values. This one is stamped on my wedge on the toe there. This is my 58. That is degrees of loft. So how do you choose? How do you know what you need? So this is really about getting an even gap between the clubs in the bottom half of your set. But the first thing you've got to think of is how much room have I got in my set for these wedges. So for example, if you have a driver 3-wood, 5-wood, a 3 hybrid, a 4 hybrid, and then a 5 iron down, you've probably only got enough room then left in the set for once you've got your pitching wedge in the bag, maybe 2 extra wedges. If you have let's say you take that 3 hybrid out and you go 1 3 5 wood, or you go 1 3 wood and then a 3 hybrid 4 iron, so you have less clubs in the top of your set. You've then got room for potentially 3 sand wedges, which a lot of players carry. So generally I would recommend that you would take either 3 wedges or 4 wedges, including your pitching wedge. So if you went for a 3 wedge system, and let's assume that your most lofted wedge is a 58 degree sand wedge, this is about the norm. Somewhere between 56 and 60 wants to be your most lofted club. I would recommend in a 3 wedge system a 58 to be your most lofted club. Now it's very likely that your pitching wedge is around about 46 degrees. So we need something that's 12 degrees gap there, which really is the difference between, it's really 2 clubs gap in there. But because you have a lot of clubs in the top end of the set, we've only got room for 1 more wedge to make up our 14 clubs. So if you've got a 46 and a 58, you want to go in between there, which is, what is it, 52. So if you go, you would then go 46, which is your pitching wedge, 52, 58, that gives you an even gap, a 6 degree gap in between each wedge. If you don't have those extra clubs in the top half of the bag, you might have enough room for a 4 wedge system, including your pitching wedge. If that's the case and your pitching wedge is 46, you could potentially even go to your highest wedge being a 60, which is really what most people would refer to as a lob wedge. Lots of loft on it. Can hit all different types of shots. It's much easier to hit high soft shots without opening the face too much. And if that's your case and your pitching wedge is 46 and your most lofted is 60, we've got a 14 degree gap there to make up. And generally you'll see players doing that by going maybe 46 being the pitching wedge, then maybe 50, 54, 60. You could go 51, 56, 60. As long as there's like a relatively even gap between each wedge there, this is all that really matters. So it does help to hit some shots, some full shots and some partial shots to see where your even gap is. But in general, if you can get an even gap between the actual loft values on each wedge, you'll generally find that you have an even gap between each club distance wise as well. So that's a little bit about choosing loft. We're going to go through the rest of the bag as far as equipment goes in the upcoming series. So I will see you in the next video, guys.